Hi, it's Bacon Eating Atheist Jew again. I just wanted to clear up a few misconceptions and basically fight some of the rhetoric that goes on when it comes to Israel. I've written quite a bit on my blog about it, so pardon me while I'm going to be looking at the computer, which is next to the camera here, so I may be taking my eyes directly off the camera. I'm cheating here, I admit it. So anyway, let's go ahead first and bring up some of this stuff. Number one, this is what led up to the creation of Israel. Jews in Europe in the late 1800s were facing growing anti-Semitism. It was mostly ethnic in nature and not religious. It's like you're an ethnic Jew. Just like Hitler didn't care if a Jew believed in God or not. He didn't ask them. He just murdered us. So anyway, getting back to the late 1880s, 1800s. This is when Herzl came about, started the modern Zionist movement. Now Herzl himself was an atheist, agnostic maybe, but I'm pretty sure he was an atheist. The Jews began at that time to lobby for their own space where they could be treated as equals, where someone's not going to whisper, hey, this guy's a Jew, or not give a Jew a job. It was a place, the Jews were really facing some heavy anti-Semitism in Europe, and that was proven when Nazi Germany came along. The Palestine region was a birthplace of Judaism. Now, I'm not big on religion, but you know what? 90% plus people in the world believe in God, so you have to take that into account. Now, the Palestine region was fairly empty. 80% of it was unused land. It was swamp, desert, and it was mostly unowned. It was governed, but it was unowned. There were in the late 1880s, 1800s rather, there were about 500,000 inhabitants, and about 10% were Jews. Now there's 9 million people there. So there was a lot of room for migration. Now the Palestine region is not sovereign territory, or was not sovereign territory, up until 1948. Now this is a biggie. Check out a world map, look at the boundaries, pick any. Find me one sovereign nation that was created where might didn't make right. Now I know that sounds bad, but might also includes lobbying with the previous controllers and also with the inhabitants of non-sovereign land, and of course it does include war. The formula for every sovereign nation, independent country in the world is might makes right until sovereign. I don't understand why everyone expects Israel to have been formed any other way. There is not one nation on this planet that was formed where every indigenous person was happy. Now, migration. Demographics change everywhere, except for some reason they're not allowed to change in the Middle East, unless the change means getting rid of non-Arab Muslims. Everywhere else, land is either owned and or governed. That's the way it is in 2007. That's how land works. Land is just dirt, plain and simple. Only 20% of the land controlled by Britain in 1947 was owned by Arabs, and 3.3% was owned by those who actually lived there. Most of it was by absentee landlords. There's no such thing as Palestinian land, Muslim land, Arab land, Jewish land, atheist land, Caucasian land, Christian land, etc. Jews migrating to Palestine were doing so mostly legally, and in 1947, an area that had a Jewish majority at that time was partitioned off to, or was supposed to be partitioned off to give Jews a Jewish governed state and a place where any Jew in the world, if they felt persecuted, could go there. It wasn't that bad a deal, and especially for the Arabs living in Israel right now, they wouldn't want to move anywhere else. Anyway, it all had to do with intolerant Arabs. It wasn't even the indigenous Arabs. It was mostly the surrounding Arab countries that started the war. Now, let's take a look at migration again. Let's look at Dearborn, Michigan. The place is almost a majority Muslim city now. How come Muslims are okay with that type of migration, but aren't okay with Jews going to a non-sovereign state at the time, or a non-sovereign region at the time, Israel? It's all got to do with intolerance.